Okay, cardiac arrhythmias. The name itself is suggesting that there is a rhythm disturbance, that is PQRST wave that has been formed by the muscle contraction, relaxation, that is atrial and ventricular contraction and relaxation, depolarization, repolarization of the heart muscles is leading to the dysarrhythmia if it is being disturbed. And if it is being in a proper manner, that is without any pause, without any gap, and it is having a proper disfiguration on a deflection line, then it is being maintaining its rhythm. If cardiac arrhythmias are there, then heart rate will also change. Okay, so we know that once atrial contraction is occurring, then P wave will be formed. Once there will be, it is crossing, so the AV node will give a pause and then the QRS deflection, that is again leading to the ventricular contraction, and how much the cardiac output is there, that much contraction higher will make a peak higher, QRS. So this is again maintained in a rhythmic form, that is called as cardiac rhythmic formation. But if it is being disturbed, it is arrhythmias or it is called as dysarrhythmias. So we have to be carefully checking on the ECG strips that it is being properly managed or not. And these all are being responsibly handled, or it is being commanded, or it is being handled by conductor system of our whole body. The heart has a conduction system which is separate from any other system. So that is why it is making a PQRST complex we see on the ECG paper. And this arrhythmia is disruption of the conduction system. So if SA node is being disturbed, if AV node is being disturbed, we have a substitutional workers. In case if one teacher is not there, another will take a substitution. But if all of them are being affected, then in that case it will be leading to severe dysarrhythmia, severe disturbance in the work of heart. Okay, so let's see here in ECG leading paper, these are the checkbox we can see. We have to see that P wave is formation because of atrial contraction, and because there is a point of PR interval, P to R interval, that is QRS complex was formed because of ventricular contraction. But in between that, there is a pause that is because of the AV nodal conduction system. So this is leading to a gap or a pause between the P and the QRS complex. This is called as complex. This is called as wave. Okay. So this is all of the QRS. Now next, once the ventricle contracts, again it has to also relax for the filling. Blood filling is required. Otherwise, what it will eject? So again, there will be an relaxation of ventricles, and then the T wave formation will be there. But the gapping between this S and T is called ST segment. And then lastly, U wave formation. So these, with in between the two peaks of ventricular contraction, that is QRS complex, it is called as RR interval. So QRS is a ventricular contraction. Another QRS, because it is a continuous cycle, it will be continuing in a rhythmic form. So once there is one contraction, another contraction, the gap between that will be RR interval. Let's see one by one. If SA node, we have to see SA node is located over here, sinoatrial node, that is internodal and interatrial pathway. Okay, AV node, bundle of hairs, Purkinje fibers, all these are responsible in the conduction system. We will see one by one. We have seen AV node, then right bundle branch, this is here, right ventricles, all these will comparatively and collectively work. In left atrium, there is also below it is hair, bundle of hairs, left branch bundle, and this left posterior fascicle, then left anterior fascicles, Purkinje fibers at the last. So we all have seen this, but one by one, if it is being seen, then SA node, which is also called as a primary pacemaker. We need somewhere artificial SA node. Then in that case, if SA node is not working, then we place a pacemaker. If that pacemaker is properly working, that is artificially it is working, that is a artificial pacemaker. But originally, SA node is a pacemaker which is controlling the heart. Okay. Each normal beat is initiated by SA node. Yes. So whenever there is first SA node working, we have to check for the rate. It should be 60 to 100 beats per minute. Okay, so this is what recording by the SA node. This is representing the P wave in ECG or atrial depolarization. You can see over here P wave, atrial contraction occurs. That means P waves can be seen on the ECG, or atrial depolarization, that is atrial contraction, and that should be 60 to 100 beats per minute. Next comes AV node. It is also substitution of the SA node. In case sometimes SA node is not properly functioning, then in that case AV node will be functioning. So it is located where? At the septum of the heart. You can see over here, septum. This is the two divisions. It is a partition of the heart, which is receiving the impulse from the internodal pathways and holds the signal before sending on to the bundle of hairs. So that is why before sending over to the below side, it is just keeping a hold of that signals. Okay. So what it is doing, it is an internodal pathway. It is a particular part. After that, it will get bifurcated. So before that, it is all holding here, and then it is generating a rhythm. This is also representing PR segment. You can see over here PR segment. There is a bit of pulse between the P wave and a QRS complex that is represented by the PR segment. This box which is being created, it is showing the PR segment, and it has a rate of 40 to 60. In SA node it was 60 to 100, but here in AV node it's rating 40 to 60 beats per minute, and it is acting as a backup when SA node fails. What I said, that it is also, it is giving a backup or a control over the heart. Once the SA node is not there to work, then AV node will work, where all the junctional rhythms are originating from the all the parts of the junctions. We know that one junction is there, one particular part is there, where we all are getting collected. So this is when we are traveling through a train. At a particular junction, we all are getting collected. So this is particular junction where all the other rhythms are originating. Okay, next is QRS complex. So atrial contraction occurred, atrial relaxation, a pause occurred. Now the turn is of ventricles. Ventricular depolarization will collectively occur. Bundle of His and Purkinje fibers will also react over this. So we have a location at the ventricular side, that is right bundle branch. There is Purkinje fibers. Okay, as it is same, left side it is also there. Origin of all ventricle rhythms will occur here. So this is what the QRS complex. It is said as QRS complex, remember. And rate of heart rate is what? 20 to 40 beats per minute in QRS complex. Now let's see. There is a baseline. On each baseline, the single baseline is there. On that, if it is above that baseline, if any wave is created, it is a positive deflection. This is positive deflection. If it is coming in a reverse way, this way, then it will be a negative deflection. So isoelectroline, that is the baseline, this can be seen. P wave is called as the atrial depolarization, that is atrial contraction. PR interval, it is a delay at the AV. Okay, these we have seen, and collectively we are seeing. And lastly, ventricular depolarization, that is contraction of the ventricles will lead to QRS complex. And this is called as again ventricular depolarization, but again for the blood filling it has to relax itself. So ventricular repolarization is required. So pre-filling is also required, and ejection of that filling has to be also required. So again, the other channel of blood which is coming from the backside will be collected over here. Let's see the ECG trace. We have already seen the T waves is ventricular repolarization. So after QRS complex, which was ventricular depolarization, there should be a relaxation, so T wave is formed. And these are the isoelectric lines. These all straight forms are the isoelectric lines. Okay, so just go through P waves, atrial contraction. In between R and P, there is a PR interval. There will be a pause due to the AV node. Then QRS complex. ST segment is there. S here completes. ST segment is there. T wave is for ventricular relaxation. So atrial contracted, atrial relaxed, ventricles contracted, and ventricles relaxed. So according to that, these waves and these segments are being formed. There should be a bit of pause. We cannot keep on breathing. We need a bit pause. Okay. So even you can hear your heartbeat. There is a rhythm, lab, dub, lab, 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 dub. So it is not like lab, dub, 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 dub. This is not that. It is like it should have a proper rhythm. Now, what is this ST segment? Okay, this is the ST segment. Ventricle contracting should be at the isoelectric line. Elevation or depression may be important. We have seen myocardial infarction. There we have seen non-ST elevation and ST elevation MI, myocardial infarction. So if there is ST elevation, if this segment raises, or if this segment is inverted, so in that case we can come to know that patient is suffering with the ventricular muscle defect. That means patient may have myocardial infarction. Which is this? ST segment is formed because of what? Ventricular contraction or relaxation is a part. So if it is not been able to be in a rhythm, that means the patient is having a kind of defect in the ventricles. Means ventricles is controlled by what? Myocardial muscles. Myocardial muscles is defected, then myocardial infarction might be there. That is why this ST problem is there. And lastly, if U wave is formed, that is the last one, that is Purkinje fiber repolarization. So you can see over here, this is the U wave. Purkinje fibers are located here. That is again, there is a repolarization by the Purkinje fibers. Okay. Now see, waveform analysis. How we can see the waveform analysis on the ECG wave. For each step, it is necessary to go through the step of correctly identifying the rhythm. Now, very necessary. Whenever you are applying the ECG leads, always see that they are correctly placed. If they are not correctly placed, these waves deformity can be there. Then it can be our mistake, not because that the patient is suffering with any kind of cardiac problem or anything, but it is because there is some problem with the lead connection. So for each step, it is necessary to go through the steps to correctly identify the rhythm. Is there a P wave for every QRS? We have a question that this is there or not. It should be there with the QRS wave or not. So P wave are upright and uniform. So they are coming in a uniform format. Okay. They are coming line wise. They are coming in a proper interval. One P wave preceding each QRS. That's why it is present. P wave is to be present for every QRS wave. Is the rhythm regular? Whenever we are checking this, we have to see. Whenever we have seen that doctors are looking through the ECG strips, what they used to see, what you will see on my explanation right now. Will you see this first P wave? You know that it is for the atrial contraction. But if in case this P wave is absent, So what will you indicate? At least you can come to know that yes, patient's atrium is not functioning properly. So that may be some defect with the atrium. If there is no pause or no gap between the P and QRS, that is PR interval is not being managed, that means you can come to know that there is a problem with the AV node or there is no pause. Okay, so you have to clear it out what is because of. Next is, if in case if you do not find this QRS, no gap is there, this point or peak is very low, it is completing over here itself. So in that case, again, you will feel that there is problem with what? Ventricles, because due to ventricular contraction, QRS wave is formed. But if it has not been properly formed, that means you can see that maybe blood filling may be problem and ejection or contraction myocardial tissues are not properly functioning to contract. Or lastly, if it is T wave is not formed or ST segment is being deviated or depressed or elevated, you can come to know that myocardial tissues are damaged. Might be myocardial infarction may be there. So you can come to know that atrium, ventricles, AV node, SA node, who is not able to Purkinje fibers. Okay, is it very clear to you? If it is waveform, each waveform is formed because of what function, which part is functioning, you know, then it is being able to know that might be that particular part is not functioning. That is why that wave is not formed. That's why you have to be clear with all these slides. That is, what is the isoelectric line, what is the P wave, what is PR interval, QRS complex, T wave, all these things. So once this base is clear, you can be easily analyzing that what is the problem with the ECG lead. Is the rhythm regular? So I said that, let's go at the back. Yes, we have seen that there should be a proper rhythm. So if RR interval is being departed a lot, there is a huge gap in between. That means there is some problem with the atrial contraction, ventricular contraction, relaxation. Might be heart muscles are not properly functioning as it should be. Okay, so here you have to check that. You have to verify this RR interval, confirm by assessing the PP interval also. Okay. Again, RR interval is for QRS, that is ventriculars are functioning in a rhythm. PP for the atrial, that means atrium are also contracting in a rhythm. Okay. Next is, what is the rate? Count the number of beats occurring in 1 minute. We are counting, you know, we are also counting in a pulse measuring. So we know that how much beats are occurring in 1 minute. Then counting about the P wave will give the atrial rate. How that counting is occurring, I'll tell you in later slides. Counting of P waves will give you the atrial rate. So very clear. And lastly, counting of QRS will give the ventricular rate. To analyze this, you all have to be very clear with all these things. Let's summarize it. Okay. Normally, heart rate is 60 to 100 beats per minute. BPM is beats per minute. It is an denotion, it is an abbreviation for that beats per minute. PR interval, I told you there should be a timing. So PR interval, that is again, let's go through. This is PR interval. Its timing should be 0.12 to 0.20 seconds. It should not go below this. It should not go beyond this. Okay, so there is a lower range limit and upper range limit. So 0.12 to 0.20 seconds should be the PR interval. Next should be QRS interval. It should be 0.12. Okay, let's see what is the QRS. Here it is QRS. This gap should be, it should be more than or it should be lesser than 0.12 seconds. Okay, SA node discharge. Okay, SA node discharge we had seen in previous slides. It should be 60 to 100 beats per minute. AV node discharge, it should be 40 to 60 beats per minute. But remember, if the QRS interval is lesser than this limit, then it is having a faster contraction of ventricles, which can lead to the ventricular fibrillation or ventricular tachycardia. That is, it is beating very fast. So it should not be there. So this is a standardized seconds or the timing or the limits. It should be, remember, AV node discharge should be 40 to 60, and ventricular tissue discharge, that is the last one, it is 20 to 40 per minute. It should not be beyond this. So hope this is very clear, and we have to remember this limit is like cardiac cycle. In that, P wave is atrial depolarization, that is atrial contraction. Then after both right side and left side, then after PR interval, that is a pause between the atrial and ventricular depolarization. So both of these parts are being depolarized, but before in between them is a pause. So that is PR interval, which should be not lesser than 0.12 second or not beyond 0.20 seconds. Then lastly, QRS complex, that is ventricular depolarization or ventricular contraction, how much amount the blood is being filled, that is again being contracted and ejected out of the ventricles. That will be depending on the proper filling. So once it has been ejected out or contracted, again it has to relax. So that P wave will be formed, that is ventricular repolarization, and that is the cardiac cycle which is being considered in a particular time. So hope this is very clear with you. Okay, what is sinus rhythm? First of all, we had seen all these things, P, Q, R, S, T waves, all these things have a rhythm. RR interval is having a proper amount of, there are 3 boxes. Again, these boxes are consisting of 5 mini boxes. All these, there is a particular kind of gap is there. So we know that according to that, we will calculate the heart rate also. So heart rate in sinus rhythm will be, that is, SN node is properly working, that is 60 to 100 beats per minute. Rhythm is regular, that is proper RR interval and all these things. P wave is having a proper distance. Next is P wave. Before each QRS complex, you can see the P wave is being formed. Okay, so you can see that before QRS complex, if there is a P wave, that means the patient is having a proper atrial contraction, and then after it is having a QRS complex, that is a ventricular contraction. But what is the timing? That is PR interval is in seconds, that is 0.12 and 0.20. So it should not be lesser than that and not maximum than that. And then after QRS, it should be 0.12 or it can be greater. If it is lesser, then again I had told you what will happen. So it should be managing all these timing, all these rhythms, all these intervals, and this heart rate should be managed. That is sinus rhythm. So very clearly, this is a very normal rhythm. According to that, if it has been increased or it has been decreased, we have to consider that it is, if decreased, sinus bradycardia. If increased, it is sinus tachycardia. We will see in the next class.